I've had this sawmill for about 5 years now. When I first decided to buy one, of course, I talked with the wife about it and what I was going to use it for, and how long I was going to use it. So I did some research online to find out what type of saw. First of all, I had to figure out what I was going to use the saw for. You know, what I was going to build, what I'm going to use it for. And then second, I had to figure out my pricing, what I can afford, and and then third, I had to figure out what type of saw I need to cut for the type of lumber I have. So it's not just, to me, is to buy a sawmill and just throw it together and say, okay, this is going to do what I need to do. So the three things, like I said, I had to do, and the first was, to me, was, of course, what am I going to do with the, you know, what type of wood I had on my property, and you know, where I can get the wood at, and how I came buying it, and the reason why I bought it. I looked around for a good while for a sawmill, and I had to find something uh, before I bought it. I wanted to find something that suited my needs and what I was going to do with it. So there's a few things that I had to decide before I just went out and bought it. And I think the biggest one was, of course, everybody's going to say, is the money, what it's going to cost. And then, of course, I had to think about after the cost, because, you know, guys just think about, you know, they want it, it's a toy. And then after I made the decision what I'm going to put out to buy it, I had to make the decision and I thought about, you know, what I'm going to, where I'm going to get the wood, what type of wood I have. I have hardwood, softwood. It made yourself think that, you know, the type of wood you have is going to have to be the type of saw you're going to have to buy. You understand? And then what I was going to do with it after I cut it. Was I building things? Was I building barns? Was I going to build a house? I decided to buy it because I enjoyed building things. Plus, I have a small wood shop, and it really helps me out on that because I can pick up different types of wood to make some really nice things. So it took me about 8 months or so to decide what saw I needed, and I found the Norwood. This is the Norwood LumberMate 29, and the width in between was just the perfect size because that's all bigger lumber that I would have on my property, or, you know, or I mess with it in my wood shop. So I picked up the 29 here, and then when I picked it up, I ordered a bigger engine. I picked the 16 instead of the 13. This is a twin cylinder, and the reason why I did, because to me the 13 would be struggling a little bit to go through some of the real hardwood that I can get, and so by having a bigger engine on it, it made it a lot easier to cut. Well, plus a good sharp blade helps too. So there was a big decision to make to buy this, and to knowing that either you have a manual saw or a hydraulic saw. And I call it hydraulics because they have hydraulics to pick up your logs and put them up on the mill here, and then also turn them, which your manual, like me, was a lot cheaper that you can turn it yourself. And so I made that decision that I wasn't going to go and take it out to house to cut other people's lumber. That if somebody wants something cut, it wouldn't be a problem to bring it here and then for me to cut it up, you know, just a little bit here and there, which I have done some. But when I first bought it, it came in a big bunch of boxes, and you know, they say, well, you learn your saw, and I think that's just a little bit of a thing saying, you know, we can cut your costs down if you put it together instead of have somebody do it, because they have to pay somebody. That doesn't make sense. But of course, it comes in all these boxes and everything, and then you start putting together. And of course, men don't look at directions. We just pick things together with pictures. And so it took me an extra day to put it together, and it took me an extra day or so to build the track. But I had a lot of help from my brother, and he has a metal shop down there. He made the metal frame, we took some tubing because we was going to make it on a trailer, make a trailer underneath and put an axle. We did, and then I decided not to do that because I didn't want to go house to house. So yeah, there's, to me, Norwood, they make a good saw. There's a couple disadvantages. That some of the things I didn't like about it. I don't like the plastic shroud on it, and also the guide wheels here for the blade. There's no grease fitting, so there's a little bit of ups and downs. But it's like I said, it's going to go by what you pay for it. So of course, the more you pay, you put out for your product, you know, you're gonna get a better product. A little bit more options than what's lower grade sawmills. I'm not knocking any sawmills down. You can buy the lowest price sawmill to the most expensive sawmill. It really depends on what you're going to use it for. If you're going to use it for, you know, a business, then I would get something pretty expensive with hydraulics. But if I'm just doing it for myself and I got some things around the house I want to tinker with, you know, I go with a manual like this here, and then use a tractor to put it up on, or have somebody help you when you're doing it. So there's a lot of decisions to me to make to buy a sawmill, and you just got to pick out the best one for yourself and your best price range, what you're going to do with it, and where you're going to get the logs at. Because it does get pretty pricey to buy something like this and set it out in the wood. So, well, my upgrade was the engine, and I got enough track here to do a 16-foot log. It's an 18-foot track, but it'll cut real comfortable 16-foot. And if I extended it on again, I could probably do an 18-foot. But I think it goes that way because when you originally buy it, it comes with a 12-foot track, I think, and then you can cut a comfortable 8-foot. And I think that's the way it's designed, you know, because of the way the mill sets, the sawmill sets on top of the track. It has a base on the bottom of it, so it's going to take up a few feet right there when it goes all the way back. And that's about it. Take your time, do some research, see what you're going to do with it. Is it going to be long term, short term? Maybe you can buy one, use it for a year, and you know somebody wants to buy it, sell it, you know, so it wouldn't sit around because they do get pretty pricey. So, all right, thanks for watching. I hope this can help somebody out buying a sawmill.